Hey guys, have you ever thought that in your network marketing business, no one is listening to me? Have you ever thought that? We're going to talk about it in this video. Hey guys, Brandon and Lynette Cunningham coming to you from thecunninghamcollective.com. We're going to talk today about your database and if they're listening or not. It's something that we experience ourselves when we started and we get to experience with our business partners now. Everybody rides this emotional roller coaster of thinking people just aren't listening or not to the extent that they would hope or wish that they would listen. And the reality is that everybody's timeline is different. And so the first thing I'll tell you is this. Reflect back to the first time you joined a network marketing company. If this is your first, great. If you've been in a few, think back to the first. How long did it take you to sign up from when you first were introduced to the product of the company to when you actually became a distributor or customer in the business? And for most, it's weeks. For us, it was like a month, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. It was at least that for sure.
It was weeks. And so it's not that we weren't interested. It just, we were busy and legitimately busy, right? And so the first thing I'll tell you guys is just because someone's not responding immediately doesn't mean they're not interested. And unfortunately, most people quit in their first month. How many people have you signed up and they just disappear? Like they become a distributor and they're gone, poof, they're gone within the first month, right? It's because they went out and they told a few people and no one was listening. And so they thought something was wrong with them or something was wrong with network marketing. And guess what, guys? There is nothing wrong with network marketing. It works. It works. It works. It works. What is difficult is the emotional roller coaster that maybe you were not expecting. Right at the very beginning.
Well, and sometimes it's just because the timing isn't right in your contact's life. And we don't know when the timing is going to be right. It may not have been right when you initially heard about it. But the reality is our circumstances are always changing, which is why it's so important to follow up with people. But you have to realize sometimes people have everything that they want. They've got a job they love. They have the income they want. They're able to travel and do things that they want. So they don't need anything else until circumstances change. Maybe, their company starts letting people go and they start getting a little concerned. Or maybe a friend of theirs is involved in an accident and is no longer able to provide for their family, and they get a little concerned. And so there's different things that change in people's lives. And you have to make sure that you're aware, for one, that everyone's timing is different, but you also have to follow up and continue to drip on them, right?
You got to be in the right place at the right time.
Yeah. So you don't want to smother them. You just want to drip on them, right? Slowly let this information sink in, so that when the opportunity is right, when the circumstances are right, you're there, right?
We've had people that were on our original list, like top 10, top 20, that didn't enroll for a year or years. I think right now our record is 7 years.
Yeah.
7 years after we told them. Their timing, it took a little while, right? And so don't get discouraged in your first week or your first month that no one's listening. I will tell you this, though. Sometimes people are not listening because of the message you're putting out. And, I like to use the illustration of a car, a nice car, like let's say a 2018 Mercedes-Benz. I got the keys to a 2018 Mercedes-Benz, and I'm willing to give you the keys for $100, the first $100.
Here's my 100.
How long would it take you to
it.
get someone to listen to that message? It wouldn't be hard if they could see the car and they knew it was real. And so many of you that are not having results, it's that the conversation you're having doesn't have the value that the people that you're talking to, your audience, your database, is looking for. They don't see the value in what you're saying. And I'll tell you why that is. Many times, distributors are talking about their product or their company or their comp plan or the timing, And the conversation that has the real value is you, your story, your story. What you do, what you don't like about it, what you found, and where you're going is very valuable. If you will tell that story with no preconceived ideas of how long it takes to find those people, because the flip side of this is maybe you aren't new. Maybe you've been around a while and you're frustrated that no one is still listening. And so my point to you is maybe the message that you're saying, maybe the way or the conversation you're putting out there it's falling on deaf ears. Okay. It's not like those keys to that Mercedes. That wouldn't fall on deaf ears because of value. So if you're a single dad, or maybe you're a dad with a family at home and you're telling people that, hey, this is what I do. I'm tired of it. I don't see my family enough. I found something and this is where I'm going. If you tell that story enough, sooner or later, you're going to find someone that thinks and wants what you want, and they will join you. And now you're off and running.
Well, and people want to follow someone who knows where they're going, right? If somebody who waffles on what they're doing, nobody's interested in getting in on that action. They want to follow the person who plans to succeed, who knows they're going to succeed and knows what they're going to get from succeeding. So that's part of it. Here's the other thing I'd tell you. You cannot make it about yourself. You have to make it about your contacts. I had a shift. I remember, when Brandon and I started sharing our business with people, fortunately, we weren't real tied to whether they joined us or not, because we were very driven in growing our business and sharing this information with people. And we felt like we had a lot of people that we needed to get this in front of. So when somebody said no, it was like, okay, I don't have time for that. I got to keep moving. And there is some value there because nobody likes to be left out. Nobody wants to feel like they're missing out on something big. So when you share it with them, give them the option to make a choice. If they say no, that's fine. Move on to the next one, because you know what's going to happen? They're going to be like, oh, wait a minute. They don't need me? They're going to do this with or without me. Mm-hmm. There's a change in mindset there. Mm-hmm. The other thing is when you're making it about them and completely staying unattached to the results, then you don't get that salesman breath, that needy,
desperate.
How many of you have walked onto a car lot or into a furniture store where it's a commission-based income and you see them coming for you and you're like, oh no, they're coming. Mm-hmm. Because nobody likes to be sold to, right? Your friends are the same way. And if you put off this aura of I need you, it's not good. They run from that. Mm-hmm. So it's important that you make it about them. This is a gift. They may want it, they may not, and that's okay, because here's the good news. In our profession, it doesn't take a tremendous amount of people to have success. It takes a handful of people who are willing to do what you're willing to do. So you're just looking for that handful. Mm-hmm. So you guys, don't make it about yourself. Give people the time that they need and know that you can succeed just with that mindset.
Absolutely. Guys, work every day towards your purpose, towards your goal. Because what's the alternative? The alternative is you're just working. And you're maybe wasting the best years of your life just making money. Figure it out. Figure out what you want and walk in that path, that purpose every day. And sooner or later, you're going to find people that want to take that walk with you. So we hope this information is valuable to you. Thank you for joining us. If you want more of information like this, go to thecunninghamcollective.com. Thanks for joining us. Bye-bye.